What's up guys, and welcome back to WBC Builds. So today I have for you another Victorian house tutorial. This one right behind me. This is a beautiful Victorian Italianate styled villa. So these are built mainly across London and the southeast of England, and they are perfect for any town. So we're going to do the tutorial, and I'm going to show you guys around my town, showing off this lovely building here and a little bit of a showcase. So without further ado, I think we should get into the block types and I'll show you exactly what blocks you need. Okay guys, so these are the blocks you're going to need to build this house exactly as I'm going to show you. So we need our main building block, and that's these creamy looking bricks. That's right, it's birch planks, 906 of those. To detail this, you're going to also need some stripped birch logs. Haven't got a number for that because that's one for you guys to decide on how much you put in yourself. The main window accents is going to be achieved by using birch trapdoors. Now that's 2 per length of window, so you'll just have to make an assumption on how many to do for those. With this is a diorite. This is mainly used for the base of the building and a few other accents around the place. We've got some quartz pillars, stairs and slabs. Again, main little bits of accent around the windows and doors. Main staircase up to the house is made out of andesite stairs, and then we've got some more diorite blocks used in little details around the roof. And then for the roof itself, the main block here, you're going to need around 400 stone brick slabs. Again, you're going to need some anvils just to add a lovely little bit of touch on the chimneys. Dark oak doors for the main door, a few little details to do with dark oak trapdoors, and then the windows are going to be white stained glass. So guys, that's the block types. A couple of those are numbered, not all of them, but yes. So let's get into this build. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I built it. Right then, without further ado, let's get straight into this build. So you can see behind me the foundation of the building. Now let's talk about what sort of spacings and how wide you need to make it all. So the building itself is 24 blocks along the front and 13 back. You've then got these bay windows which have been mirrored either side of the middle. So down the middle we've got a 2 thick wide wall. This is just a partition wall. Because this building isn't built with a centre of 1, you are going to need to double up on that wall. So coming in from the right hand side here, you need 1 block here to act as the edge of the walkway up to the front door. You've then got 2 blocks for the front door. On the other side of that, you've got another 2 blocks for the walkway bit. Then you come up 1 block up, diagonal 1 block here, 4 across the centre for the bay window, back down 1 diagonally, 2 in the middle like I mentioned, as that's the double partition wall. That's a complete mirror this side, so we've got exactly the same round here. Coming round to the back, so another set of bay windows here on the back, just to add a little bit more character to this building, you know, so you can look over the garden from a nice view. So anyway, we come in 1, 2 from the edge there, same again as the front, and then across here exactly the same again. So it's a fairly straightforward shape to build out of. Looks somewhat like a Space Invader, I know, if you guys ever remembered Space Invaders, but anyway, yes. So without further ado, let's get into the actual building. Right, so here we are, time to place down our first blocks. Most importantly, we need a way to get into the building itself, so it's time to place down the front doorway. So what you need to do is come out 1 more block there, and then you place in these polished andesite stairs. You have a whole course of 2 of those, and then another couple of diorite blocks up like that to act as the floor to get into the building. So we do the same here. Now on the edges here, you want to be placing down some of your quartz columns. Go up 3 at the moment, and that gives you the idea of how this porch is going to look. So it's time to grab out just a bit of smooth quartz, one of my favourite building blocks. Love the texture of this, mainly because it hasn't got that horrible seam around it like normal quartz does. So you build up 3 blocks there behind the quartz pillars, and that's kind of the main bit of the doorway done for now. What you can do as well while we're here is add those little bits of detail just to the front like that. You've got these iron railings. Whenever you look at these types of buildings, always has iron railings out the front like so. Right, moving on round, we're going to do the whole sort of first level so you get an idea of the main shape of it all, and then we can talk about going up a few more floors. There's a lot to get through. This building is fairly large, it's 3 stories and a nice big roof on top, so stick with it. We've got quite a bit to do. Pause, you know, stop, rewind, see what you guys need to look, because I'm going to be speeding through it quite quickly. Right, so onto the bay window. We come up round again 1 block. We're going to use some smooth quartz actually, because this needs to go in like that. What happens now is you place one stair like so, come around, two in the middle, one back on itself again, and then some like this. Behind it on the wall, we're going to be placing a normal stair up that way, and this forms part of the rustication of the base. So that means in real life, you would have these rough hewed blocks. They'd be quite square in look. It's actually kind of what in 1.16 they're bringing in these quartz bricks, and it's going to be exactly that sort of idea and shape. So I can't wait for that. That's going to be exciting times. Right, so it's time to get this little bay window started. So it's 2 blocks of smooth quartz there, smooth quartz stairs in the center, and then we're going to use these quartz columns, go up by 3, and that's your shape of your first window. So this brings me on to the first part of the video where I'm going to start deviating from normal building methods. So a little disclaimer, I'm going to be showing you how to do 2 sets of windows using the same formula and same ideas, but one using iron trapdoors and one using birch trapdoors. So the thing with the iron trapdoors is obviously you need a current to make them stand up on their edge from the redstone. You can do that with levers behind the walls, or you can do what I'm going to show you here. If you have cheats enabled in your game and you are playing in creative, it's probably a lot easier to say that if you are playing in creative than playing in survival, then you can type this command in, give, and then obviously my name, and then debug stick. So with the debug stick, you can left click round so it says open, and then you right click on all of the trapdoors to open them up to form this really nice window frame. Goes so well with quartz. Now what we are going to be doing in this video is both. So on this building here, we're going to be putting in the window frames with the iron, and on the front building here, we're going to be using birch trapdoors, which, do you know what, still work, and they're going to look great with this build. That's a bit more of a survival friendly technique of using that, and also if you haven't got cheats enabled and you're working on a server. So let's start where we're going to sort of carry on with those birch trapdoors like so. So that's our first window frame in. Yeah, it's looking good. So we need to go one more block up here, and then you place an upside down stair across the whole lot, and that forms the top of the little balcony we have above this window. So coming round again to the side, you need to place an upside down stair 1 block back from here, come round to the back here, add in 2 more blocks of smooth quartz as your little bases for the windows, and then you've got your window sills running around there. So we want to carry on this rustication now. It's these normally placed blocks on top of each other. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then you want to go for 4 at the top there, and that's your final sort of level of that. So you can see that that ties in with where we have this. So that comes round like so. And that joins in like that. Sorry, I'm just misclicking. I'm so excited to get this tutorial out just to show you guys. I've actually really enjoyed doing these. My last one was, as you can see, right over there next to us. That was so much fun to do for you lot. So I kind of really wanted to get back on it and get another one out again. So we've got the columns up here all the way up to the same level, and we're just doing this line of quartz stairs, and that will carry on across the whole building, and this forms the base of the plinth. So Georgian buildings, this is technically a Georgian style or a classical style. It's actually a Victorian 19th century building. I've based it on one in London. It's got an Italianate style to it, but still the principles of classical or neoclassical architecture is you have your base, your plinth, you then have the main body which will build, which is going to be out of the birch planks. That's known as your column, and then you have your capital or your top piece, which is made up of the cornice and the parapet at the top. But in our case, we're going to have a nice hipped roof that sits over the front. Okay, so coming onto this window now, so we're going to have it so the window carries on across the whole of this front like so, and that's just because we've got the window box there at the front, but that makes a nice little detail. So I'm using white stained glass for this, and like I said, we're going to carry across the whole front, and you get this really nice big window now. Gives in a lot of light, and it just means you don't have to use any interior walls really to hide anything. So we've got that bit of quartz there, but that's just forming part of the wall, and then you carry on across like so. So we're going to carry on up this side as well, and another level of stairs in like that, just to stick some smooth quartz on top. Perfect, so let's carry on this rusticated base up to there, and we're all coming up to the same level now. So if I just get my measuring tool out, a trusty old axe from World Edit, so we need to have this bay window at a height of 4 from the windowsill up to there, and then it's 5 including the little upside down stairs here. So that's what we're looking like at the second. It's looking great already. You can clearly see the influences of the Georgian and the Victorian period on it. So moving across there, we've got this other level, so upside down stairs across all of that, same again like so. So that's our main base done. What I'm going to do is jump to having the left hand side done as well, and it'll have the iron trapdoors on. For those of you who can build in creative with the cheats, it's just a nice little touch. It gives an extra little bit of realism to the build, but again, the birch trapdoors work perfectly fine at detailing what they need to detail. So we're going to get that done, and I'll show you guys what I'm going to do with the doorway, and then we'll get the next level up once I've copied across here. Okay, and we're back. So you can see now we've got the two halves of the villa base complete, sort of, bar the doors. So we're going to move on to doing the doorways, and I'm going to show you then the next level up. You can see here the iron trapdoors compared to the birch. Yes, there are differences, but it depends on which one you want to go for, a more subtle detail or, you know, a nice bit of contrast, and it's going to go well with our birch blocks when used above them. Okay, so moving on to the doorway, I tend to use dark oak doors for anything to do with Victorian builds, just because they give this really nice grand look. They've got these panellings on there, everything else looks a little bit too medieval or just not even worth using, especially like oak doors. So above that, we're going to place 2 blocks above it, a set of windows. These are known as fan lights. So they sit there usually in a fan shape, which is hence the name. And above that, we're going to shift click to bend down, right click to put trapdoor up the wrong way, and these dark oak trapdoors I'm using, and that just adds a little bit extra to the top of the doorway. So underneath here, above here, we're going to place some more smooth quartz in, and that just caps all of that off nicely. So what you can do, and this is something I like to do as well, if you want to add a little bit of extra light and a little bit of extra detail to the build, you can always hang a couple of lanterns here, and it just gives a nice little glow when you look at this place, especially in shaders. And you can cover that bit up there, or you can leave it open to allow the light to come through. So that's your doorway done. Around the side here, we need to place a block like that. So this is sort of the column capital, the column top, and then you've got your ridge of stairs going up that way. So we're going to move on to having the other side done in 2 seconds. It's time now to put on the little balcony bit around the top. So I've been toying around with block ideas and what to do for this little balcony section, and the best thing I came up with were, brace yourself for the clanging and banging of anvils, were anvils. Now there's something about them, the shape mainly. They have this nice T shape, and it gives this really nice look in between, and that helps to make this sort of railing look. Now there aren't really any other blocks I could use or even think about using for this. I tried using walls, I tried using fences, nothing really gave the right look. Anvils, there's something about them. I use them all the time in detailing chimneys. Look, you can see one just over there peeking through the top, but they also work for balcony railings. Trust me on that one. If you don't like them, you can always try and go for something else. I wouldn't recommend it. This is the best way to do it. So you can see we're just placing it around the edges like this, and then back on the top of the quartz blocks. So you've got it sitting like that. So it's time to start on the next bit, and also round the sides. So we're going to jump into me having the other side complete with the doorway, and then we're going to start round the sides of the build. Right, so that's the front, both sides looking symmetrical now, so it's time for us to move on to the sides. Now we have an exposed side here. Actually, to be honest, both are going to be exposed. It's going to be like you can have a little walkway down the side here if you duplicate this villa further on, but this side here clearly sticks out and looks over the road. So what I'm going to do is grab a piece of wall that I've got over here. I tend to use cobblestone walls at the second, just because they've got that nice little detail that you can always mix in some andesite as well, just to keep it looking a bit interesting. So that's the sort of wall I'm building around the side here. You can build walls however you wish, but that's kind of what I want to do for this. And now that encapsulates a little garden. We'll come back to this later on. I'm going to put some vines and bushes growing up the sides here, just because I think it looks really cool, helps set the build off quite a bit, gives it that older look. So without stalling too much more before I try and think of the word I'm trying to use, that's right, it's stripped birch and birch plank time. So there's going to be no windows on this lower base section, so we're going to carry on this all the way around here, and it carries on around here as well. When we get to here, this is the back bay window, do it exactly the same as the front bay window. That's all I can really say on the matter. We're going to carry on with these blocks all the way around like this. So the idea is you've got your upside down stairs again, sticking on like that. You've then got one more layer of smooth quartz, grab that out. You've got that windowsill, not smooth quartz, upside down stair, place a stair just to help you. Always a helping stair, you never know when you're going to need one. Fill in these little blanks underneath here. That's a personal taste that you don't always have to do that. Then you need to grab out some more quartz pillars, always put those on the side. So remember, it's 4 up from the bottom there, and then one more for luck. Well, not really luck, the actual bit of wall that needs to go around. Build up this wall here just so it reaches the top. Now I'm going to go around and pepper this place with some stripped birch logs as well, mainly because it just adds an extra level of detail, makes it look like it's been weathered, makes it look like some of the mortar's rubbed out of the bricks. And yeah, so the idea is here, I'm using these birch planks in place of bricks, because I love the colour of them and they really do suit that London brick look. Look it up, have a look at any London buildings. You tend to see them in this creamy brick rather than in a sort of bricky brick. Bricky brick. That's not a word. I'm trying to say red brick. God, I am awful at saying words sometimes. Anyway, let's move this window across the whole of this bay, and you get this really nice wall of glass again, which will just light up the building completely. And that's the whole idea of bay windows, is they're meant to be there as a way of sourcing a lot of light where, you know, you're in a small building, you need more light. So the idea here is to carry on this ridge. You can carry it all around the side. You can do, that's what I'm going to do, and that will just form, like I said, the plinth or the base of this whole building. So we're not going to have any windows on this ground floor because peeping toms are a thing in our town, unfortunately. They'll be standing over here on this other side of this hedge going, ooh, 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 ooh. Anyway, let's not have that. We're going to put our first side window up on the next level when we come to the other windows. Let me just fill in this wall, and then we'll jump back to having the whole of that side done up to the same level, and then you guys get a clear understanding of how this base looks. Okay, so you can see I'm now inside a finished building, really. This is nowhere near a finished building, stop lying to yourselves. What I forgot to mention was down the window side of the bay windows, you need to put the smooth quartz level rather than having birch planks again. So that's just behind here, so it gives a nicer look when you look at the bay window. Looks like white rather than brick sort of pattern. So the reason I'm inside here is because I want to get a little bit tidying up down around this window here. That's perfect like that. Put a bit more in there if you need it, and the same under here. Now what you can do with this building is you can add a basement level to it, because you can see we're already raised up 2 blocks off the floor anyway. You can always dig down a couple more blocks and have yourself a basement level, very common on these types of buildings. What I'm going to do here is just fill in the floor with dark oak planks. Always love using these, so we're going to jump back to that being done, and then we'll get on to the first floor. Okay, so the entirety of this base is done now. I haven't actually added a back door to this building, so if you guys think of a place to put one, then just stick a back door in. You've got this nice bit of wall here, you can always add one in, just like that. But I haven't really added one in because I haven't really got the gardens designed for this just yet. At the end of the video, I will do a little time lapse of me just detailing some garden, putting a few trees around, making this place look a little bit nicer. But in your worlds, you know, feel free to extend the back, make it slightly bigger. This just works with the size and the shape I was going for the overall proportions of this building. Same with the front. I'm going to show you a little bit of a time lapse later on when we do all the detailings before the showcase, just to show you what you can do with the front gardens. Now, without stalling too much more, it's time to get on to the top floor. Well, the middle section, not even the top floor. So what you want to do is come up here with your trusty blocks of birch planks and place them all the way down across here. So the bay windows do not carry up to the top level, they just stay where they are, and you don't go over the top of this upside down stair bit. But what you do is you build it across like so. Now, interestingly enough, this part of the building goes back one block like that, and this bit sticks out like that. So we're going to recap with that 2 seconds over here. So you can see from this wall here, you go across 1, 2, 3, 4, and now that's 1 block back. Well, that shouldn't be 1 block back. What am I doing? Yeah, like that. So yes, exactly. It's perfectly just like this. So you got 1 block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 block forward, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to that bit there. Okay, so it's time to get on with building the first window. We're going to do it over here, obviously, with our birch side. This is the survival side, as I like to call it now. And the window here, the main window in the center, is 4 blocks across like so. You can come underneath and fill in that so you don't see light through there. And you've also got a window on this back bit here. So you're placing upside down stairs to act as a windowsill again, like we did on the ground floor. And yeah, so these windows are 4 blocks high in total. So 1, 2, 3, and like that. And they're going to have a window box again, like we've got on the ground floor here. So adding those window trapdoors in like that. And you can see here, even though it's the same texture, the same block type, the textures are different. So it works really well in actually separating between the two. You know, the iron trapdoors do obviously contrast a lot more, but I think birch works perfectly fine in my opinion. So what we're going to do here is something different. We're going to actually build a window within a window. So these are kind of known as Venetian windows, I believe. Anyone want to correct me in the comments below, feel free to go ahead. Now they have a main central window and 2 smaller windows on the side. To achieve this, I'm placing trapdoors, one on the edge there and then on the edge of this block like that. Just, you know, crouch and shift to place it down, and then you're going to also shift and click on top of that to put another one on top. Same again here, although you can build up the wall to make things a lot easier on this one. Don't know why I'm not doing that to myself. And then shift click like that. So it's 3 blocks high here with those trapdoors. And on top of that, we're going to be placing some upside down quartz stairs again, just to act as a little bit of detailing. So like that and that. And it's the same again here, but something a little bit different we do this time. Placing a block out like that, and then across the middle, grabbing out these smooth quartz slabs to place across here to make it look a bit more detailed, a little bit more interesting. You've got a hood over that window. Coming on to the inside, I'm going to be using birch again to fill up this wall here, and then my trusty go-to block for interior walls is the standard cyan terracotta. Although recently I have been introduced to green terracotta, which I do like as well, especially for these Victorian-esque builds. So we're going to be filling in the walls in here in 2 seconds, just to be able to add that really nice windows in there. So coming around to the back, what we're going to do now is count in 3 blocks from the edge and then place a window in here, 2 blocks wide, leave 2 blocks in the middle, and then another window 2 blocks wide there, and that will leave you 3 blocks to the centre there. So these are evenly spaced, and this is all what Georgian architecture is about, so you don't really want to be leaving that anything weirdness. What we've got to do here with this part is I forgot to fill in this lovely bit here. All we can see is the tops of the glass, and you want to do exactly the same as you've done around the front with the anvils to add a little bit of that. Or what you can do is block it off completely with some more smooth quartz, making a nice little balcony area there, or just a sort of walled garden bit. It's fine because the quartz all blends together and you can't really see it. So moving up the here of the wall, carrying on to this middle bit here. Like I said, I'm just going to rinse and repeat over that side, so you guys don't have to worry about that. Placing the trapdoors on the insides of these window frames again, 3 blocks high, and we're going to come to adding the quartz stairs above as well. So yeah, this building is quite an interesting one because it's a style I've never seen anyone really try in Minecraft, and that is an Italianate 19th century townhouse. So I know it's it's quite a niche look, but it's definitely worth going for. So I'm going to fill in the floor here with this dark oak again, put the walls in, jump back to that being done, and I'll show you guys how the windows look after that. Okay, so we got the interior done to this level. Just wanted to show you what I was doing with the windows. So cyan terracotta around each side. You can put a skirting board in there. Not going to do it on this one today. You guys can detail the interiors how you wish. Just going to say, because this wall is only one block in from the outside, the window needs to go on the birch rather than another level of terracotta through here. You can put some more terracotta in here. It may look a bit odd from the outside, but to be honest, the glass hides it. We are going to have to do that actually for later on, because this level has a window on this side as well. So it's quite a small-ish building in that sense. You've got several floors you need to go up through, but for now we've only got the this floor here, so I haven't really put a staircase in. You guys can decide on where you wish to have your staircase. So we're going to come in on the edge 3 blocks. So come in from the edge 3 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, and then you place your window in here. So this is the iron trapdoor side. I just wanted to give you a little look at that again, just in case anyone's still questioning how it works. So you've got your debug stick, right click on it once you've gone round to open on the left click, and it's just a really handy little tool to use. There's quite a few things you can use it for. I'll show you another one later on in terms of drain pipes. And this is the window here, same height. No, it's not. Oh god, I'm really bad sometimes at doing this. I can be really good or I can be really bad. This building itself is fairly complex. It's not as detailed, I would say, as that building over there, but there's different sort of parameters you've got to stick to and different sort of sides. So placing the windows in here like so. So it's going to rinse and repeat that on the other side. But yes, then this floor is pretty much done. So you can see from here, I haven't put all the windows in yet. Just going to knock out this glass here. So what's quite nice is obviously using glass across all of this. It hides behind the trapdoors, and you get this really nice effect of having extra panes in there. There we are, like that. Works really well, I think. So we're going to do the same again here, put this other window on this side, and then move on up to the 2nd floor. Right, I thought I'd give you a little look at the back, because we haven't really spent much time around here. So that's what the windows are looking now. And we've got the bay windows down the bottom there. Remember, we put these slabs on top around here. You can leave this either as smooth quartz, or whatever you've left in there like I have, or you can fill this in with some different sort of block to act as a roof. Window around this side with a bit of detailing on the top like so. So you've got the windowsill and another pair of upside down stairs to suit that. Okay, I'm going to start with this side here, because we're going to have not just one window up here, but 2. Yes, I know, it's crazy times on the 2nd floor. Now that's hopefully because there's no one over here looking through this tree at you. So we can guarantee that having 2 windows up here, it's probably a safe bet to have. So the wall goes up again. We're going to have a gap of 1 block between the top of this detail and the bottom of the windowsill. This one's going to be a sort of extended exposed windowsill as opposed to the one below it, because I think it just adds a little bit of extra detail. I've also noticed we've not been adding any detailing into the walls. Now I'm going to go back around and do that later on. You guys can add, I was saying, some stripped birch logs. Let me just grab some out now, I'll show you. You can add these in if you wish, just to add this little extra bit of detailing around the birch. It is just a great little thing to have. It just makes it look a little bit more weathered. There we go. Doesn't even take away too much because it's the same colour. Just helps with little bits and bobs. So between these 2 windows is 3 blocks. We come in 3 blocks, go across 2, go across 3 more blocks, and then 2 blocks out like that. You can do it like this or like that. Depends on whether you've just forgotten what you were doing it entirely, like I have just done. Anyway, so up 2 blocks, these windows, and upon the 3rd block, we're going to be placing our details that make this build look a little bit more Italianate or Italian than the building over there. So this is an upside down stair placed like that, and another upside down stair placed like that. So we've now got this window, which has got this little archway above it, and that is very reminiscent of the style we're trying to go for. I know it's very hard to get sort of right in Minecraft, and it will look a little bit better when I've shown you on the iron trapdoor side, but for now, This is the little bit of detailing that really does help this build turn into a really nice Italianate building, and you can already see it taking shape. Having these two little archways above here really do help. So one more block up and then we'll get on to the roof once we get the rest of the building done. So it's time now to come round to the front and repeating what we've done on this lower floor, up one more block like that, so you've got one block gap in between. Same again across the middle here, and then knocking out this block here, placing your stairs up like so, more height needed here, across like that. So it's the same height in windows, it's exactly the same windows as on that side. So you've got your trapdoors up the edges, and you've got your little archway above like so. The only difference here is we're going to come on to the middle window. Now this middle window is perhaps my favourite of them all. It really does help with adding this extra bit of style to the building. So we're going to need to be finding ourselves some smooth quartz slabs here just to add this little extra bit of detail in the middle. I was trying to look around the walls trying to see if we had any more, but I don't think we've used them yet. So on the outside wall, this window is going to be again 4 blocks wide, 4 blocks by 3 blocks, but it doesn't fill that once you do what I'm going to show you. So we're doing a similar design as to that, having an arch up above it. Now instead of having both trapdoors on sort of the same block like we do there, we're going to turn around and place the trapdoor up like that, and then up one more on top, and now you've got a 2 wide window in the middle here, and you're going to have this middle partition down the center. Looks like a mignon. I can't speak French for the life of me, but you get this extra little bit of detail in there. So what you're going to have to do is place another block behind it to get this archway in like that. Come back, switch that round, and hey presto, there you have your double-arched Italianate styled window with your Venetian window below, and this building is really classy now. So that is exactly what makes this building beautiful, these 2 windows up here. So this side is almost done, time to go around to the back. It's a similar affair again, just exactly the same as we've done on this lower level. Bring on up this wall to the same height. Adding in your extra bit of texturing and detailing as we go, like I did last time in my other tutorial. If you haven't seen that, I'm sure I've plugged it enough, but go check out that video. You can see I've detailed all the way around that building. Do that a little bit of a time lapse at the end, just so we don't take up too much time of the actual building, because this building is fairly large. So you know, add your details at the end so you don't get bogged down by them while trying to build. So exactly the same again around here, trapdoor, and hey presto, you've got 1 arch, and now we're going to go around here, and you're going to get 2 arches. So it's time to rinse and repeat that on this side with the iron trapdoors, and then we'll get around to putting the glass in and moving on up to the roof. So we're going to jump back once all of this whole floor is done, and then I'll show you guys what I do with the roof. Okay, so that's us back. You can see the little half windows there showing through underneath the archways, and this whole building is now looking absolutely stylish and fabulous. So it's sitting here, and you've got only the roof really left to do, and a bit of detailing around the outside. Obviously I don't do interiors. Like I said in my previous video, it's something I would love to get into doing. It's something I need to practice on, but for me, my mind really does work in exteriors. So I would love to be able to see what you guys come up with for interiors of these builds. So if you want to share with me on Twitter at buildswbc, or even on Instagram, just tag me in a post. I'd love to see if you build this, and yeah, have a go at the interior. That'd be great to see. Okay, without further ado, let's get onto the roof. Now for the roof, we need to be grabbing out, oh, I seem to be down here. I didn't actually, this was not intentional at all. I just sort of fell over here. I'm going to grab out these blocks I have just happily lying about the place. Need to grab this one here. So the main roof is going to be built out of stone brick slabs. It's one of my favourite types of building material for roofs. So to get started, we're going to have these little eaves, these little overhangs here. So we're going to build in 1 and then leave a space of 2, 1 more there. Leave a space of this entire window up to here, and then you want to leave a gap of 2 in the middle like that. Same again on the edges like that, and that gives you this interesting little shape above. Yeah, and from that, I don't really know what else to say about that, but yeah, from that, you then place a level of quartz slabs around here. Now, this is going to form the bit where the roof sits on. Now, the roof is just a straight sort of hipped roof. The reason that happens is because you place in one course of smooth quartz slabs there, and then another course around like that. So you get this sort of overhang here, this quite vicious overhang, but it's not too bad. Coming around to the side, it's the same again, so one like that. We'll come around and do the full side in 2 seconds, and then I'm just going to say, yeah, you get this little peak over here. Now what that peak does is it really does enable us to have this building feel like a proper Victorian building. No, we don't. No, not like that. Like that. There we go. We come around here, we have this peak. So that's where our cornerstone sits. So we're going to use some diorite slabs there and follow that all the way across with your stone brick slabs. So they're coming all the way over here and to this corner again. Same again there. Putting on the corner. And you've got that bit there. So coming around to the side, you have the same again here. So we've got one on the corner, leave a gap of 2, place one over the top of this archway, one in the center, one over the middle of that archway there, and then one on the corner again. So coming around to the back, same again, have 2 space over the one over there, one over that, 2 more across, 2 more again, one over that, I think that's correct. Yep, sorry, that's correct. And then one over that, and then one over there. Same again this side. Just confusing myself there. One in the middle, one there. So it's a not really evenly spaced sort of eave overhang bits, but that's because of just the shape of the building. We've got an even number at the front and an odd number of 13 blocks back. But you get this really nice, interesting roof shape, which we're going to get onto in a second. So coming round with the first course of this, it's time really to show where the chimneys go. So now we're on this side of the building. The chimney is going to sit directly in the center. So we've got this 3 block center here. We're going to have 3 wide chimney coming up. So you're going to build that up by 1, 2, 3 blocks, and then you place the anvils on top. We're going to get this done now, just so we get an idea of what the building's going to look like. There'll be one in the center of the building. That's going to be 2 blocks wide because of the shape of the building. And then that's going to sit at the back of the building. And then we come over to this side as well, and it's exactly the same again. So 3 blocks up, and then you place the anvils on top. Ding, ding, ding. Right, so I'm going to go into a time lapse now to get this roof finished. We'll jump back in when I'm crowning it off, just so you guys can see what's going on with that. And then we're going to get on to time lapsing just to get a bit of gardening done, and then it's on to the showcase. But guys, this has been a really fun build to do. Look at it, it's beautiful. I really wish you guys are going to have a great go at this. So I'm going to jump into a little time lapse now. Right, so that's the roof done. You can see it has this little trough at the top here, so it drops down by 1 block and carries along here at the center. You can either do it with that block underneath there, but I like to just break it up a little bit and just carry on doing it with the stone brick slabs. Now it's time to get on to adding the central chimney. So find the central 2 blocks. I think that's these 2. I think I really should know what I'm doing by now. We've already got all the way through this build. I've managed to just fumble my way through. Anyway, 2 blocks high, and then you place on the anvils, and it's in line again with these 3 down there, and that's your central chimney, which is very common of these Victorian era villas. So guys, that's the main building done. Like I said, not going to do any interior for this. You guys can do what you wish with that, but I am going to show you it in its sort of final location with a bit of detailing around it. So we can jump into another time lapse now quickly while I get that detailed. Then I'm going to do a little showcase and show you how it looks in my town of Wolverhampton, just as we did with that lovely building over there. So guys, I'm going to show you that now, and then we'll reconvene after I've built the surrounding area. Right, just placing down the final block here, and let's take a step back and allow the camera to focus, and there we go. Not just one, but two, you know, because why not copy and paste it over so it looks like a nice row of houses. But there we have this beautiful Victorian villa. It's just wonderful, isn't it? It's really does look like the realistic sort of type you would find in London and sort of the south of England somewhere. You've got this really nice pale brick being used with the birch there, and then you've got the Italianate windows up on the top. So this is just an idea of how you want to place it in a town. I've got a huge forest behind here just to add a little bit of extra depth. I've got loads of trees going on here, and I've just come around to the gardens and added a few little sort of paths, and yeah, just the bushes and all of that just really do help bring this to life. So you can see the back windows here with the bay windows at the bottom, and you may also notice I've added a few drain pipes. And then you also may notice there's no connection between the drain pipes and the wall. Now I've done this using the debug stick again, so I really do recommend, if you get a chance to, play around with it. It's a really handy tool to use in order to actually make some things look a bit more realistic. But yeah, this has to be one of my favourite buildings I've built, and it does really hold this really nice commanding view, but it's not this huge building. It's really quite a pleasant size, you know, compared to this one next door. This is quite a big building still, but it looks small, definitely in comparison, but it's not too small. Anyway, I'm rambling on there. Let's take you over to Wolverhampton so I can show you guys what it looks like in a town, and yeah, we can go from there. So I'm going to jump into it now. And here it is. Coincidentally, I've actually built it next door to the same building again. So yeah, even in this town, it sits here in exactly the same location next to the red brick house. What it doesn't have actually is the bay window or any sort of garden at the back, because I built it directly up against the railway line. So it's actually different to what I did in the tutorial. That's just a little extra because I felt building it like this, you would have no details around the back would look plain and boring. So you can see I've even done the overgrown bit on the side. We've got some little name tags on the walls here, just to name the roads that it's built on in Wolverhampton. And yeah, so I haven't dangled the lanterns under here, which I really should do because they are quite a nice little feature. But here it is, sitting here in town with no birch windows borders. It's all gone for the iron, but again the birch works perfectly fine. So that's it there. Right guys, thank you all for watching. I'm going to try and do a few more of these Victorian house tutorials again, because like I said, I really enjoy building them for you. And if you look over here, sneak peek at some other stuff, there's loads more houses and different sort of designs and features I can show off in a few more tutorials. So maybe I'll see you soon. But yeah, anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.